Good evening, my loves. Welcome to this week's Coaching Gem live here on Destination Deanna. For those who are new, I am Deanna, the Love Guide. So, welcome. Please consider Destination Deanna your self help learning library for all things love, right? Love attraction. Anything that's going to help you on your love attraction journey, right? So please forgive me. My voice, you can hear I'm a little congested. My kids have been under the weather, and I am kind of recovering from being, under it as well. So forgive me if I don't have my, flowy, beautiful, soft, and feminine voice that I usually have. Okay, bear with me. Um, Tonight's topic is what your money says about you. Oh, we're going to have fun tonight. This is going to be a good one. So let me go ahead and see who is checking in already. Hey, Alice. Good evening. My amazing husband, he's checking in. Hey, Shaka. Oh, I'm so sorry I missed your live. I definitely wanted to be there for that, but I'm recovering, so I'm gonna catch your replay for sure. Thank you so much, Alice. I'm hoping to be fully recovered tomorrow. Good evening, Facebook user. You guys got to remember to grant StreamYard access so that I can see who you are. Oh, yes, I'm definitely going to break it down tonight. It's definitely giving Marge Simpson for sure. Yes. Hey, girl. Hey. So let's get right into it, you all. So let me start. If you're new here, I always start with my intention so I can be really clear about what we are getting into with the lesson. So, what your money says about you. My intention tonight is to shed light on how your money speaks volumes about who you are, what you believe, and what you value. Now, just as much as I want to be clear about my intention, I also want to be very clear about what I'm not doing, right? What I'm not doing is I'm not saying that your amount of money, like what you have or what you don't have, equates to your value, right? So none of us are better than based on what we have or don't have. I'm definitely not saying that. I am saying that we can take a look at our habits, right? Our habits financially to look at indicators for behaviors, right? That can tell us more about what we value. And everything should help us on our journey to being better, to attracting more of what we want into our lives. More specifically, love. Okay. So everything is in contribution, everything is to help. Nothing is to judge, everything is to help. So without further ado, here is the portion where if you are going to take notes, you would want to start taking notes. I'm going to give you 7 things that your money, your habits, kind of things would tell you about yourself, right? So 7 things. So you can write down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, Brianna, we're getting right started into the lesson. So 7 things that your money is going to tell you about yourself, okay? So number 1, your money is going to tell you about your mindset, right? More specifically, it's going to tell you whether or not you have a lack or an abundance mindset, right? It's going to tell you about kind of your financial choices. And you can look at your money and tell whether or not you kind of have a scarcity mindset or an abundance mindset. You can look at your money and you can see kind of how your relationships are shaped, right? You can look at how your relationship to money kind of shows up. So when I say lack or abundance, right? Are you kind of fearful? Are you always thinking that you won't have enough? Are you always thinking that you don't know where your next kind of dollar is going to come from? Are you kind of always robbing Peter to pay Paul? Like, is that kind of always what you're thinking, right? Or are you of the mindset of always kind of giving? There will always be a way. Like, money is more of an abundance thing. There's always ways to get it. There's always ways to make more. There's always ways that you can get more, ways that you can give more, right? So your mindset about it. How do you think about it, right? I don't save enough. Hmm. That can be more about your habits, right? That can be wrapped into a couple of different things. That can just be, maybe you give too much. It could be a number of different things of why you might not save enough. Um, it could be a number of things. Save that though, because there's a number of different factors that might contribute to why you don't save enough. So, your overall mindset, right? Number 2, your level of faith or fear, right? So, this could be like your ability to see the future, right? Your ability to make financial decisions could be based in how you see things. Are you faith filled, like you think more positively, or are you fearful, right? Do you see the glass half empty or half full? Like, have you come from like a family that is always thinking, you know, from a positive mindset? They are always kind of, there's gonna be a way. There's gonna be more. They have that kind of positivity. They come from like that faith basis, or they're fearful, right? They build that fear into you, right? Um, when you think of faith and fear, this can also lead to hesitation, right? Or conservative choices. Again, a person who has a lot of fear, they might save more. They might be less likely to spend or put their money out there or take risks or invest or do things like that because they're more fearful, right? Um, as with all things, I think there should be more of a healthy balance. But again, this tells a lot about where you stand when you look at your money. Where do you lean more towards, right? So number 3 would be your ability to manage, right? Your ability to manage. When you look at your money, how do you manage it, right? If we just look, let's just say on a monthly basis, like, do you always have more month than you do money? Or are you a person that kind of always has like a plan, and you kind of know where every dollar is going? You kind of have a plan for all of your money. You have a little bit for savings, you have a little bit for expenses, you have a little bit for investments, you have a little bit for fun. Like, how do you manage your money? Or is money just coming in, going out? Like, is it willy nilly? What is your ability to manage? And this is also going to tell, like, how much can you handle, right? One of my favorite preachers is Miles Monroe, and he always says, like, God doesn't bless you like to like your ability to ask. He blesses you to your ability to manage. So whatever God sees you able to manage, that's what he blesses you with. So if you can't handle 100, you're not going to get 1,000. You can't handle 1,000, you're not going to get 10,000. You know what I mean? So it's really important to look at how you're managing what you have. So I don't like the word budget, but I do believe in financial planning, right? Expenses, looking at planning, looking at maybe having limitations on things, avoiding unnecessary stress, unnecessary allocation, if you will. So that's important. That tells you a lot about yourself and how you manage. More month is wild. You know what? I got that from Will. I learned that from Will. Will used to say that all the time, so I stole that from him. Number 4, your money is also going to tell about you how you make decisions, right? So it's going to uncover your decision making process. Looking at like money matters. So it's going to uncover like the role of rationality, like your emotions, your external influences, like what shapes your financial decisions, your influences, all of that. Like what informs your choices. So again, like money uncovers all of this stuff. When you look at how a person allocates their money, I don't say spend because spend means it goes out and it doesn't come back. So like circulate, allocate, whatever. How they circulate their money, it's going to tell you like what they value, like taking a look at that, like how are they making decisions? Is it an emotional one? Are they rash with it? Are they, considering a number of things? Are they like quick to do it? Are they, are they like a silo of one? If they're in a partnership, do they consider their partner or do they just kind of make it on their own? Are they really emotionally driven? Are they just, I want it now, so they do it? Do they think long term or do they just think of like right now gratification? All of these things are really good things to pay attention to, like how you make decisions. Yeah, Shaka, like it gets deep, right? We think money is like surface level. It's really not. It really is not. So how you make decisions. And then obviously this one is kind of like A B conversation, but like how you prioritize, right? So the factors influencing like your financial priorities. So you mentioned like saving. So like is it saving for the future? Is it investing? Is it enjoying the present? Is it like for a significant other? Is it aligning priorities? Is it like for a hobby? Is it for a career? Is it for a significant other? Is it long-term goals? Is it for, your dream home? Is it for a business? Is it for your spouse? So like how are you prioritizing your finances? That's going to tell what you prioritize also. Oh, hey. I see new people are checking in. I do a lot of this stuff. It just depends on what's going on. So yeah, like your priorities might change, your decision making might change. Yes. Yep, decision making is key. Absolutely. Hey. Yep. Oh, hey mom. And number okay, so that was number 5, how you prioritize. And number 6, this is a big one. Your money is also going to tell your communication style, right? So, are you like an effective communication? Are you an effective communicator? Like, especially when it comes to money matters. right? So I have found, especially like working with couples, like having 8 years experience with, like within the relationship space, money matters can really make or break relationships. And a lot of people struggle to have financial conversations. Um, a lot of premarital couples don't even have um, important financial conversations until they're brought up in premarital preparation, I've found, which I'm glad they're having them. I wish they would have them a lot sooner, but it just goes to show like really how important the conversations are, but like how scared people are to have them and how maybe ill-equipped people are to have these conversations. But it can impact like the overall health of a relationship if you're unable to talk about finances, right? But you should be able to express like financial needs. You should be able to talk about setting financial goals. You should be able to talk about like your financial styles, whether like you're more of a saver, if you are more of a, I'm not going to say a spender, but you're more of a money enjoyer. Money enjoyer. If you are, listen, I don't even know what to call it. That was a freestyle. But you need to be able to navigate money conversations, okay? And I will say, normally in relationships, people are not the same, right? There's usually one person that's more conservative and one person that is more lax about money, right? That's how it is. And I believe that's how God probably set it up so that people have to work things out, right? So that people have to grow and learn and like experience different things. So you have to grow as a person. If both people were the same, like how much fun would that be? But yeah. So that's communication style about money, right? And the seventh and final thing is your money is going to tell you like what you value, right? It's going to tell you what you value because there's like a deep connection to what you value and your decisions about money. So obviously, like where your money goes, that's what you value, right? What you're deciding to put your money towards, like what you value most, that's where your money is going to go, right? You're going to prioritize your expenses. You're going to prioritize your family. You're going to prioritize your health. You know what I mean? So it goes without saying that you're going to see what is valued more where money is prioritized, right? So it's important to be able to have the conversations about aligning your circulation habits with your core values. So being able to talk about like what's important to you, where you want to see the bulk of your money being circulated, right? And you may have differences in what those core values are. And as a couple, you have to be able to align, right? You may not be exactly the same, but you have to find ways to kind of come together, right? So you have to both, get needs met. So you're going to have to give some, he's going to have to give some in order for both of you to get your needs met, right? So I hope that makes some sense, right? Oh, hey, I got a lot of people checking in tonight. Hey, Troy, Alice. Okay, thank you so much. So you were taking notes and you did the recap. I'm going to leave that on the screen. Thank you so much, Alice. So a quick recap was the 7 things that you can kind of tell about yourself in regards to like money is your mindset, right? You're going to be able to tell like if it's a lack or abundance mindset, you're going to be able to tell your level of faith. If it's like faith or fear, you're going to be able to tell your ability to manage. You're going to be able to tell how you make decisions, how you prioritize. your communication style, and what you value. Definitely money enjoyers. I'm team money enjoyer, obviously. Brianna, I feel like I'm forced to prioritize often because of time. I think especially like parents, yeah, we're more on the prioritized side because we have people that depend on us. You know what I mean? So we're more on the we have to prioritize first, which makes a lot of sense. Hey Kalandra, glad you're here. So now we've reached the portion. Let me put Alice's back on the screen just for anybody that needs the recap for what we covered. But let's go into the Q&A portion for anybody that had any questions um, about tonight. We were talking about like what your money says about you. So any questions that you guys have or any scenarios that you have just about money in general, relationships, um, prioritizing money conversations, any things that have come up in regards to prioritizing money, requirements, anything like that. I am open to answering any questions. It's the Q&A portion now. Speak now or forever hold your peace. And obviously, you can ask questions about anything. I just like to open up the floor for anything about the topic first. But if nobody has anything about that, I'm certainly open to answer any questions about anything else. This is your chance. Is it ever too late to start saving? Absolutely not. I was completely like credit score shots like in the fives, not a homeowner, and I'm talking like late 30s, no money in the bank, homeless. I mean, everything was going wrong. Didn't have a car, had two small kids in daycare, like worst of all situations, and had a poverty mindset too. So I had everything going wrong. Um, and decided to completely change my life around. So it's never too late. It is never too late. I think anybody can change it around if they start with a mindset shift. So if you really desire to like start saving or like really like have wealth in your life, I really would recommend having a mindset shift. So maybe start with a book that is about wealth, about abundance, maybe the science of getting rich. I always recommend my favorite book is The Richest Man in Babylon. It is an easy book to read. You can even listen to it in the car if you have kids. It sounds like a story. So I always recommend that book. You can look it up on YouTube and listen to it for free. I always start with that because it's a very easy thing to listen to and it will shift your mindset to abundance. And it's an easy plan to follow for like savings and money management. So I would start there and just start small. I did that for 2 years, 2 years, and just followed that. So no, I don't think it's ever too late. Just start where you are, start with something and stick to it. Stick to it. Stick to something small and then just keep growing. This was very detailed. Breakdown made sense. I don't have any questions. Great. I know that I taught very well when you guys don't have any questions. So if you have anything else you want to talk about, that's cool too. Thank you, Alice. I'm rebuilding now. I don't know how long it'll take. Don't worry about how long it'll take. When I was rebuilding, I didn't care. I didn't think about that because I thought it might depress me. You know what I mean? When I started thinking about like how far I was and like how down bad I was like, man, I'm gonna get depressed. So I just put my head down and said, you know what? I'm gonna stay committed to this and I'm just gonna do it. And before I knew it, 2 years had went by really fast and I was out of the hole and starting to see abundance. So just keep your head down and do little by little. And before you know it, you will be out of it. That's my recommendation. Yep. The richest man in Babylon. I promise you, it will change everything for you. It will change everything for you. Hold on. When is it a good time to reintroduce yourself to dating if now isn't a good time? I think the best time to reintroduce yourself to dating is when you feel really good about yourself, when you feel beautiful, when you feel confident. That's the best time because you're going to attract the best, right? If you feel down about yourself, if you don't feel your best, you're not going to attract the best you can have, right? And you're just going to be accepting what comes along. When I attracted my husband, I was feeling saucy, okay? Was not even thinking about attracting not nary a nothing. I was pouring into myself. I was treating myself so good. Um, so that's when I think you should date. When you are loving on yourself, when you are really liking yourself, when you are like, "Oh, I'm looking good. I'm feeling good." Ugh, it's selfish of me not to share this with someone. That's when you should date. Yep. Calandra, it's a great book. Yep. See, these are my ladies in the membership. So they're advanced. Okay. They've read these books. They know my tricks. When it comes to money, I'm doing my very best to. You're doing your very best to what, Bree? What are you doing your best to? You're always doing your best. But what do you mean this time? Yep. Don't worry about how long. $2 a day for 30 days will always show progress. That's right. Even if it's $1 a day, I'm telling you, it adds up. It's better than nothing because you were doing nothing for a long time and that added up to nothing. So the smallest thing, it really does add up before you know it. You'll be like, wow, I got this. Wow, I'm this far. Like, I'm telling you, it a little bit really does go a long way if you don't give up. If you just like keep at it, like keep doing it, it'll make all the difference in the world. Like just keep at it. Just keep at it. Let me see. Is there anything I can share with you guys that would keep you encouraged about money? So I told you about my richest man in Babylon. That's what I did. Um, what's something else that I did? So I read that. Another thing that I did after I read The Richest Man in Babylon, I was not making that much money like at my job. I think I was making maybe at this time I was making probably maybe 55,000 a year. Maybe 55,000 a year with like some bonuses here and there because I always worked like a customer service job where I had opportunities to like make extra bonuses and win contests, and I would always max out and do different things like that. That was how I would make little extra money and things like that. But what I would do is I would just always have very strategic plans for my money, and every dollar would have a purpose. Like I would know where every dollar was going. And when I read The Richest Man in Babylon, when you read it, you'll see there's a very strategic plan that has percentages and it tells you what to do with every amount, right? And the basic principle about like paying yourself first, paying expenses, debt repayment, and all of that. It literally gives you a wealth kind of mindset about money so that you stop kind of working to pay bills. And you'll start feeling better about going to work. Before that, I used to always feel like I'm just working to pay people, right? And it would always feel like I just never had money. No matter how hard I worked, no matter how much money I made, I always felt like I just never had money. So read the book. Read the book. I'm telling you, it'll make a difference. I can def budget well when I have it coming in. That's just my problem now, the income. Read the book because this book works no matter what your income is. It changes your mindset. And no matter what your income is, you can stick to this plan and it will change how you see money because you'll see money how the wealthy see it. Read the book and come back and tell me what you think after you've read it. Recently, I've hustled, had a lot of emergencies. Yes. I don't know how to manage after that. So here's the thing, right? Emergencies will always happen, right? Emergencies will always happen. That's like a fact of life. Like your car is always going to break down, your kid's always going to need something, like something's always going to happen. So they're not really emergencies, they're just parts of life that will happen. So instead of these emergencies, we have to have money set away for these things. Like now, I have money. Well, me and my husband, we have money set away for the things that come up. It's no longer emergencies because even think about the energy of emergency. Does emergency feel easy or does it feel heavy? Does it feel like something it feels worrisome? It does not feel easy, relaxed, like it flows. It does not. It feels like something you got to worry about, something you got to get up and hustle. It does not feel flowy, like don't worry, I got it. Relax. It doesn't feel like that. So even just changing some of the language around some of these things that happen, right, can help you energetically prepare and allocate your money for different things. I changed the names of different things and started putting money in different pockets for different things. There is no more emergency fund. There is no like there's none of that. So Brianna, we can talk a little bit more about this maybe in the membership. Yes, Alice, that's a good point. It feels like anxiety, yup, panic, right? We know that they do happen though, right? It's a reality, right? Um but if we can do something to change the narrative of it and build it into our financial planning, it can be different, right? It's almost along the lines of like estate planning. We're all gonna die, right? We know this to be true. So if we can change our mindset about it and get ahead of it and plan and be different about it, it then becomes different for us. So it's the same thing, right? It's changing our mindset about it. Thank you, bro. I know this is something you talk about a lot. I'll follow the plan in the richest man in Babylon, but when the parts of life happen, I'm starting over. I, I would wonder if you're following the plan completely then, because the plan in the richest man in Babylon accounts for that. It accounts for that. It accounts for life happening. Like, have you read the entire book and followed it to a T what it says? And we could talk a little bit more about it. I started saving the change I accumulated in a day. Then once a month, I put it in the bank. then it became my savings that I never touched. That's see, and that's another way to like look at money is all around you, right? And it's starting small. So it's like nothing is too small, right? The change around you, the pennies, the whatever, instead of just going by them and thinking it's nothing, hey, picking it up, collecting it, and then saying, okay, I'm going to add this in and let this grow. That's a great idea. Everyone could do that. That's something that everybody could do. Imagine how much change is in your car, right? Is in your sofa, is in your jeans, is in your wallets, your purses, when you're doing laundry, all of that, your kids' clothes. Yes, that's absolutely wise. So I'm trying to think what are some other things that another yeah, that's another thing, like what changed too. Um, at one point, we would take the change from well, yeah, same thing, change from a day. We would do that as well. But we would have like little things. So it's like if well, we don't curse anymore, but I know at one point if I was saying a curse word, it'd be like, okay, $1 in the thing if you say a curse word, you know, or, every time for positive reinforcement, it was like, oh, every time I went to the gym, $1 in the little thing, and we would put $1 in there. Like, so there's many different ways that you can positively reinforce yourself, or you can like attach finances in a positive way and save, right? There's other excuse me, there's other positive ways, like looking at your banking institutions and seeing different ways that you can utilize them. Like one of the ways that we as a family we utilize we have Navy Federal, and it's really a cheat code because they have all sorts of like perks and different things, like different bank accounts and things that you get extra points, credit cards, different like things that you get from having accounts with them. So look for different ways that your money can earn money for you. And like your bank, you can just go into your bank and ask them. Like you can set up, you can go in there and ask them. um you can have an appointment for them to walk you through like basic credit know-how. Like, hey, I don't have a credit card. Like, can somebody walk me through basic credit? I want to just get a credit card here. Can you educate me on credit? They will. Hey, I want to buy a home. I know nothing about it. Can you tell me about how do I prepare for that? They'll get you a pamphlet. They'll tell you what credit score you need. They will do those things. There's so many programs. There's so many like things available that you just have to ask. You just have to go in and ask. So whatever bank you bank at that has your money, just go in and ask, hey, what resources do you have for small businesses? If you want a business loan, you want business credit, if anything, all you have to do is ask. Ask. It's not going to cost you anything to ask the question, right? I don't ever have change anymore because all I use is card or online. And you know what? That's a cheat code too. If you're trying to save money, go like use cash for a while. When I really wanted to like see where my money was going, I like put my cards away and I used cash for a while. And you will be surprised at how much less money you will use when you actually have to hand over the money. You'll be like, wait a second, that's a lot. Like, it's something about like the ease of swiping a card in which you'll like use more. Like, start using cash and watch how like much less you'll use. Yep. So yeah, this was obviously went off on a tangent. I be liking to just share with y'all. So I mean, back to back to the topic. My coaching gem is, listen, your relationship with money says a lot about who you are and what you value. So if your money doesn't match your desired values, make some changes. Make some changes. And it's easy to do. There's lots of resources out here. I mean, use YouTube. Use YouTube, look up Money Basics 101. There's lots of books. You can go on Audible. You can go into your library. There's lots of free resources. Even in the Love Attraction community. I mean, you can join our free Facebook group, the Love Attraction community, because we have money and love guidance in there, right? We don't know it all, but we at least share the basics to kind of get you right in there, right? So every Monday, there is a new coaching gem here, which is a topic based lesson and interactive discussion. So set your reminders for Monday nights at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, right? And tell a few friends, right? Don't be selfish. Spread the love, okay? Please remember, God is love. We are of God. So attracting love should be easy. Okay. I love you all, and I will see you all next week. Please take a look. I've already updated the lives for the next few weeks. In February, Will and I will be celebrating our 1 year anniversary of being married since our wedding. I can't believe it's already been a year. And I ain't gonna be going live. We going on a vacation, and I will not be thinking about y'all. I mean, I will, but I ain't gonna be going live. We taking a break. We taking a vacation. Love y'all. I'll set up something to keep y'all entertained, but it won't be live. Okay. So love you all. See y'all.